everybody. Welcome back to the Brothers Take podcast. I am Chris. I am joined once again by my brothers Adam.
Hello.
And Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room to talk more video games. Happy 2023, everybody. And welcome back if you're someone who has listened to us before, but welcome if it's your first time checking out the Brothers Take. And this is a good time, actually, to jump onto the podcast as a new listener, because it is a new year and we're going to be looking, not only catching up with each other in terms of what we played and watched over the holidays, so that's a good sense of getting to know our tastes and interests, but then also we're going to be talking about our most anticipated games for 2023, and by fuck, 2023 is going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous for
I
games.
see what you did there.
What? What did I do? Oh! That might, yeah, okay, yeah, that game's coming too. Ridiculous. And as the conversation goes on, we'd love to hear from you guys too. Not only what you guys got up to over the holidays, do let us know if you played anything, if you're watching anything, let us know what you were up to. But also, what would be your most anticipated games of the year? The way we're going to do it is we're going to pick 5 most anticipated games of the year. We did this last year, but we did it in the form of just like a post, and we each had our this time we're going to do it as an actual episode, right? There are so many games, so just because we say a certain 5 and you're like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is it fucking Starfield in your top 5, motherfucker? Doesn't mean we're not interested in Starfield, okay? That doesn't mean that. It just means that maybe it's not the top 5. Because, again, like I said, this year is to be ridiculous for games, which is awesome because it gives us lots of gaming content to talk about throughout the year, as well as the other topics that we're going to cover throughout the year. And if you want to be, in touch with everything that we talk about throughout the year, then if you're on YouTube, why not give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you know when all future content comes out. And to those of you who are listening to us on audio platforms, please do hit that follow, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen to us. And if you would like to get in touch with us, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on your most anticipated games of 2023. But without further ado, welcome thee to 2023!
I was thinking to myself, was he going to say it? Was he going
I
to remember?
remembered.
Yeah,
I remembered.
I was just as we started, I was like, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Little callback there to our last episode of 2022. That was so last year. Okay, so I suppose
you make joke, you funny.
I try. In the meantime, I guess since that last episode, let's have a little catch up. What did anyone play or watch over the holiday period? Eric, I'm gonna come to you first. Anything you want to highlight?
I watched. I rewatched all of season 1 and season 2 of The Witcher.
Nice.
Wow.
I also, I did not leave my house for like 9 days. I actually
lockdown all over again.
I actually got a headache due to the lack of fresh air I had.
Okay.
I also watched. I do get fresh air if you can. I also watched The Witcher Blood Origins, which was like on Netflix.
Oh, that's new, right?
Four-part season. Yeah, it was released in December. I watched that. I played and cleared the Callisto Protocol. I did not think that game was as hard as people were saying.
I wonder though, is that due to the updates that it got between launch and when you got to play it? I don't know. It's not a long period, but I know it got some.
I know, yeah, it definitely got some. Because I just know there's people were mainly giving out about the dodging mechanic and the kind of melee. There was other mechanics there that I was like, these mechanics are way more annoying than dodging mechanics. So,
well, in non-spoiler fashion, non-spoiler fashion, give us your review of the Callisto Protocol.
Graphically, awesome. Sound designs, awesome. Beat the shit out of things, awesome. The dodging mechanic reminded me of an old gem I have not mentioned in many a long time. The dodging mechanic reminded me of Infinity Blade.
Okay. I haven't heard that
Uh,
comparison before, but that's interesting.
yeah, it reminded me of that.
No, it's
I
because no
enjoyed
one's
it.
ever played that game except Derek.
Like, because everyone else was saying things like it's kind of like UFC or something like that, and but I love that you're like Infinity Blade. Yeah.
Yeah. A little underwhelming by the end, but I still enjoyed the game.
Okay.
I still enjoyed the game, and I was a little disappointed there was no new game plus. It's gonna like come in like February, something like that. I was a little like, that's weird.
Do you think they should have delayed the game and released it with that, and like made sure they were ready to?
No, because the game is not exactly broken.
Okay.
It's not like some of the other games have been released in the past where it's like, should hold off before releasing or whatever the hell. But I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't like one or two of the games that are being released this year.
Do you think
in terms of survival horror?
Yeah.
I get you.
But I still pretty. And I also got back into The Witcher 3. Well done. So I'm playing that at the moment.
Go on, Eric. Say it. Say it on the podcast.
I
Say
thought
what
we
you
were-
told me.
I thought we were leaving that
say
for
what
another
you
episode.
told me. Now we can do a whole episode on it sometime, but say what you told me. You don't ever have to have shame. Say it.
It may be my favorite game
Of all time.
of this current time.
Eric, come on, own that. If The Witcher 3 is your favorite game, I applaud you. Because you're not being influenced by anything else. It's worse certainly not influencing you. Me and Adam don't fucking like it. So it means it's purely yours. Own it, Eric. Is it your favorite game of all time?
Well, I think he just has to internally conflict himself now, doesn't it? Because it has to.
Yeah,
that means it's better than Mass
between
Effect
that
2, isn't it?
No, well, it means he's saying it's better than Skyrim. Take a shot. First shot of the year. Because Skyrim was previously his favorite game. So has it replaced Skyrim now as your favorite game of all time?
Yes, because I tried playing Skyrim again a good few months ago, and I found it a little hard to play. And The Witcher, I just seem to be able to jump back in and play it quite easily enough. I think it's the fluidity of gameplay.
Cool. That's cool.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole episode on that sometime. We'll need to get on some other Witcher people though, I think. Otherwise it's a fairly one-sided conversation there, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
Anything else that you watched or played over the Christmas period that you'd like to highlight?
I watched Return of the King with you on New Year's
Day. Yeah, that's right.
Is that it?
Was that good?
Really? It's pretty good. It's like a painting.
Yeah, you should check it out. Adam, anything that you played or watched over the holiday period?
I finished. Actually, I can't remember if I finished it before the holiday. I think I did. Actually, it was the God of War Ragnarok. I think I just.
You hadn't.
Oh yes.
I think
you
I
hadn't
did
finished
just.
it before recording our last episode. You were nearly there, I think. Because we were talking about it, and we were like, you have another little bit to go. So we're gonna have to do a spoiler-filled episode on Ragnarok in the next episode or two. So
my plan was to platinum it over the break, but
okay.
It got so fucking stressful, and I just wanted to relax, so I put it down.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
And I had a look on the Steam sales, and I picked up Disco Elysium. And I started that, and I was planning on playing that, but I got bogged down with work, so that kind of took me away from it. But I got it for a tenner on the Steam sales, so
yeah, I heard the Steam sales are great. I've also heard that game is fantastic.
Yeah, I heard it's really good too, and it's kind of I think that's what I'm looking for really as well. Is that it kind of has that. It seems to be a cyberpunkish aesthetic to it, like not a RoboCop, but more of a what do you call it? Richard, what's his name? K. Dick, what's his name?
Oh, Philip K. Dick.
Philip Dick. Yeah, that
Philip
kind of
Dick.
that kind of aesthetic. The
yes,
a Scanner
the Blade Runner,
a Scanner Darkly kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just kind of a click, like the old Fallout games, just kind of a point and click kind of adventure. But the little bit I've played of it was really, if it wasn't for the awards that it received, I probably would have jumped out of it. But
Right,
I
right,
kept I kept going with it because the beginning of it was like it's really odd, and
Right.
the dialogue's really strange. But it sounds like as if it's actually his own conscience is kind of talking to him, and the dialogue and the choices that you choose as well. It feels like, Eric, I think you might dig it. It genuinely feels like a D&D session
Well,
because
that's what I
it's
was thinking about with The Witcher 3, because it feels like a D&D session.
well, this is like even like your brain, let's say, is
Mm.
kind of hyper analyzing things and describing things in a really weird way, and it's got this really strange voice. And as it's speaking to you, like you have dialogue options to choose from, and a lot of the dialogue options are ranging from taking the piss to okay, I seriously want the answer, and like you'll get that in a D&D session. There's always someone wanting to take the piss,
Yes.
and then
Yeah,
there's someone
yeah.
who wanting to continue the adventure, and it's very much
Mhm.
like that. So I'm looking forward to get more into it, but yeah, I just got kind of bogged down.
Can I ask on that one just before you go any further? Because you're saying like the start, is a bit slow, and if not for like the huge praise that the game has, you might have dropped off. Does it get into it quicker though than, for example, another game that had huge praise, but it takes a very long time to get into it, which is Doki Doki Literature Club? Does it get into it quicker than that?
Well, I haven't got far enough into. I mean, I'm a little bit intrigued at the moment with the investigation that's in it, but
Yeah.
I would say I'm not even past what you would consider maybe the first tutorial. Let's just say,
Right. Okay. Okay.
I
okay.
need to get a little bit further into it.
Did you see when you were talking about the kind of aesthetic of it? Did you see the last trailer? Was it during the Game Awards? The trailer for Replaced?
Well, I didn't see the last trailer, but I have seen the game before. Yes,
You got to see that last trailer.
I don't know.
It's
I think
it's
I think I
unbelievable.
might just.
Okay,
play
fair
it.
enough. If you want to hold off, yeah, okay. But yeah, sorry. It just literally I saw it, and I think me and Eric did the episode, and I was like, Adam's gonna fucking love this.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I mean, the first trailer for it was just dope.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Absolutely sick. Okay.
But then I started this week actually, which is because you shared with it during the holiday the Tom Cruise motorbike stunt
amazing.
for
For
the
Mission
for the new
Impossible
Mission Impossible. When is that coming
7.
out?
It's coming out this summer. A friend of ours worked on the movie
Okay, yeah.
and was telling me like that he met Tom Cruise and everything. And yeah, it's so cool.
So-
It's so cool.
I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossibles past 3,
Okay.
so I decided that I would do kind of a Mission Impossible marathon. I've only seen up as far as 3 at the moment.
Do you know I did the same thing?
Did you?
yeah.
And
I
I've-
did.
As I'm watching them,
Yeah.
I'm ranking them.
Are we doing
I
this
did the
again?
same
So
thing.
I think this could be a future episode. Is
Absolutely.
ranking the Mission Impossible movies after
But you
this,
have to
after that one comes out.
after 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to be they're making 2 at the same time, but they're released. So 7 and 8 are going to be the last Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible movies,
Okay.
which is fucking kind of cool. But that stunt is just incredible. Tom Cruise is crazy.
Yeah, crazy man.
Crazy man.
Yeah, so I've watched up as far as 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Have fun with the rest.
well, I've
Yeah,
heard
the strange tone shift.
like
but
an up and kind of an up and down, like with I think Rogue, is it called Rogue Nation? Is that the 4th one?
No, Ghost Protocol is
Ghost
4,
Protocol is
Rogue
4,
Nation
yeah.
5, and Fallout 6.
I heard Fallout's really good though.
I really enjoyed Fallout, but again, more so for like the
The fact that Tom Cruise is doing everything.
The stunts. I think
Yeah.
the stunts and the fight sequences are genuinely great,
Mhm.
and then the storyline is okay, like but so like it hasn't got like the great high stakes thriller story of say Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah.
In some ways the stakes are higher, but they don't feel higher because it's just the way it's directed is different.
Does it kind of just become Fast and Furious to some degree?
To some degree, yeah, but
Yeah.
because the stunts are real, and there's like a particular one where you're just like, that's unbelievable, and that's Tom Cruise really doing it, and that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really exciting. Like I remember watching the cinema and like actually gripping the chair, like holy shit, like
I was on the edge
So
of my
it
seat
is.
with that one, so that one was pretty good.
yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah, so I just had to. So these next three, then I've never seen. So this will be my first viewing of them.
Yeah, yeah, cool. So in terms of watching, yeah, I watched the Mission Impossible movies. That's so funny. And then, this isn't just over when we stopped in the podcast, but over December, like myself and Ash, we did our Harry Potter marathon again, and then we followed on with our Lord of the Rings marathon. She didn't actually stick around for Return of the King because she started to feel ill, so she didn't get to finish Return of the King. But Eric was there
So
to tap in and take over. Yeah, we'll just have to do them all again. So I always enjoy watching them. I think Christmas is a really good time of year for those movies. And for both of us, that's kind of our childhoods, so it's really cool to watch them again. And then in terms of what I played a little bit of the Callisto Protocol, so I've touched on that, but I haven't finished it. But I played through all the story of Crisis Core Reunion.
Oh, did you clear it?
Yeah, I've played through all the story. Yeah, there's a lot more to play. But I got to a point where I just kind of wanted to kind of push on the story. Like you can get like there's so many little mini missions you can do.
Yeah,
like so many. There's so much side stuff.
Because that's quite long.
So
it's long enough, isn't it? My memory of it is that it's long.
Again, totally depends on how you play it. Totally depends on whether you just push on or not. Like you would want to do some of the side missions, because you get really good rewards,
right?
Which will ultimately help you in combat. I did enough that got me to a point where I was like, bring it on, motherfuckers. And I think there was only like 2 fights that I found like challenging, tricky. One of them was Sephiroth. He kind of kicked my ass, but I was kind of happy about that as well, because like if I just whooped him, I'd be like, oh, come on. So when he kicked my ass, I was like, yeah, fair, you know. Like that. Yeah, that's supposed to happen. I do think so in terms of the game, and if people are going to check it out, they should not have called it Reunion. Okay, I think they set people up for something by calling it that, and that they shouldn't have done. I think they should have just called it Remastered, because I've heard a lot of people have gone in and been people who have played Remake,
okay,
who never played Crisis Core before, have picked this up thinking that it is in some way part of like that, and thinking this is going to be a remake. And they're like, what's with these janky animations? Because, like, okay, so yes, the graphics look really good. But they're still moving the way PSP characters move. And the dialogue is still, like, they've re-recorded the dialogue, but it's the same fucking script from, like, 2007. And everything was really melodramatic and super anime back then. You know, and Gact is reciting a play or a poem throughout the whole thing, you know. So there, like, it is pretty cringy, and it's that kind of era of Final Fantasy where you don't really want anyone to walk in while you're enjoying it, because they'll kind of judge you, and you're like, just hey man, fuck you, I'm enjoying this, okay? So I think if they had called it Remastered, and everyone knew that it was a PSP game remastered, which they said it was, but if you didn't look into it in the interviews, and it looked so shiny and new, you're not really sure what it was. As a remaster, they've gone above and beyond, and it's fantastic because it looks great. It plays great. Like, the combat is amazing. They've done lots of little refinements in terms of skipping animations that you don't want to see again with the digital mindwave attacks and stuff like that. Like it's streamlined really well. There's little messages that come in to say, you know, if you go beyond this point, you can't return. So, you know, finish everything you want to finish. Like, there's just quality of life improvements in that way. One thing I think they could have added that they didn't was like a chapter select afterwards. That's not in there, which is a bit of a shame, because there are certain, like, you know, there's missions you can only do in certain chapters and things like that.
All right.
But it is still a PSP game. So, like, the missions, for example, the side missions, they're all like really, really short. And it's kind of the same zone, the same like 4 zones repeated. The same kind of enemies repeated.
Is this like... so when you're in an area and you're moving into the next area, is there still that black screen transition between areas?
I didn't notice a black screen transition, but there's still well, yeah, I suppose there would be. And there's those like the, you know, little blue lines, the dotted lines that say you're leaving one zone and into another
so
zone.
They're still there.
You know, all the map is hallways. You know, like it is a PSP game remastered. It's not a remake. But I think that because they called it Reunion, and as well, I've heard like a lot of people were fully expecting that at the end, like after the credits, there would be like a new scene that might play into like
All
in
right.
another remake, like something to do with like Zack or whatever. I'm not spoiling anything by just saying that because I think people should know when you go in, it is actually just whatever content was in Crisis Core, the original, it's here.
That's I think that's surprising that people were expecting more then, because I thought that was pretty clear on what it was.
Right. Well, I think it's because it looked so shiny and new, and the
Yeah.
combat is slightly different, and because it had that name, Reunion. It was like, oh, well, if it's a remake, it's probably going to play into the remake a little bit. But it doesn't. Well, it does insofar as
It happened.
this is the prequel to Final Fantasy VII OG. So
Yeah.
and then the ending. But what's interesting, I suppose, is they want you to, like, because they've made this available on everything, they want people to already know this shit, which is very interesting when it means that in the remake series going forward, Cloud's twist is not the twist because the twist is ruined, right? So that's not the twist of the game anymore. There's no point in pretending that's the twist because they're like, well, we've made that so accessible in not only like the remaster of 7, which you can play on everything, and now the remaster Crisis Core, which you can play on everything. Like, we've told you Cloud's backstory.
Yeah, that is actually
So
unfortunate.
that's not the twist.
So Cloud is actually a dream, and
so
whatever other weird twists in Final Fantasy X.
I had a
is
ball
actually,
playing it.
Cloud is actually Zack thinking he's Cloud, who thinks he's Zack.
Oh my god!
What? Yeah, I take a look at it. If you ever wanted to play Crisis Core, which many people have heard good things about, this is the best way to play it. So, but know that it is a remaster of a 2007 game, and the dialogue is cringy. It hasn't got that level of writing that remake had.
But is the soundtrack the best thing?
The soundtrack is fucking bitching.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And I don't mean this in like a mean way or anything like that. Like, it's not to say that the game wasn't like great and really fun, but like I think the highlight of the game for me was the end credits, where there was just this score of music that played throughout, but it seamlessly transitioned from one track to another. Honestly, it felt like the end of a Lord of the Rings movie. It was just amazing. I was like, I actually went to try and record it, but it was like a blocked cutscene kind of thing. So I couldn't record. I wanted to record it. I was going to send it to you to go, doesn't this just sound like the end of Lord of the Rings? Like a Howard Shore score, but it's Final Fantasy VII music. This is just glorious.
It is a good end, though, isn't it?
The ending is good, but you know what I found? I always knew the story to Crisis Core, but I never finished Crisis Core, right?
Right.
So I only knew the story from, like, eventually I watched, like, someone's edited, like, YouTube movie of it,
Movie.
Right? Yeah. But they left out so much stuff. So now when playing it and actually like experiencing the whole thing, I was like, it's a little bit unbalanced. The experience is a little bit unbalanced, and actually the ending feels not earned.
All right.
In a weird way. There's
Because
a point
too
where
much
like
distractions throughout, or
it's Genesis, right?
right?
There's
Yeah.
too much Genesis in the end, and it's like I thought we were done with him. Like Genesis, you're okay, but fuck off. Like right now should be focused on, like, the cover of the game is Zack, Sephiroth, and Cloud, but that is not the game, really. That is not the and it's very like the Star Wars prequels. You know what I mean? You picked it up because you want to see Vader go to the dark side. You want to see how that happened, and for the first while you're going, hey, I recognize Obi-Wan. Who the fuck is Qui-Gon? Who the fuck are these people? Like, I mean, okay, cool characters, but who are they? Like, this is not what I came for. Like, what are these droids? What's going on? This is not what I thought I was getting. And then as it goes on, by the time you get to Revenge of the Sith, you go, here we go. This is what I came for. Now I recognize it. Takes a while to get there, but man, fucking Nibelheim. Can't wait for the future. But yeah, so that's kind of the main game I played really over the Christmas period.
That's good
But
going.
now, yeah, I enjoyed it. I had fun. But now looking forward, 2023, and it's fucking ridiculous catalog of games. So the only rule we have for this is that they have to be games that are slated to come out this year.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Whether they come out or
Scratch
not.
that
No, like
That's all of Adam's 5 games, Scott.
yeah. We don't have to know a release date, just that they're supposed to be coming out this year at some point. Then they can be in our top 5. They could move. Like I remember last year making like a list of my most anticipated games, and half of them fucking moved into this year. So like that happened. Also, just because you highly anticipate a game at the start of the year does not mean by the end of the year you will have even played it or enjoyed it. My most anticipated game of 2022 in January was Gotham Knights. By the end of the year, I absolutely had no interest in that game and did not pick it up. So that like things change the more you see, or something else could come along. So bear that in mind as we go along. But okay.
Do you feel like people are going to hold you to it?
No, I don't. But I always feel like Eric is always worried people will. So I'm like, so I just like I like to put that out there to say, Eric, you can
most of my list
say whatever you're anticipating, and if it changes, that's
fine. Okay, but
most of my list is that I'm just anticipating to see how well they perform more so than whether I'm going to enjoy them or not.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's a good way.
I think there is a difference though between anticipating something. Like, probably, to be honest, my most anticipated game at the moment, I don't know, I can't remember which year. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year, or whatever, is the next Mass Effect game. That would be my most anticipated game.
So
right?
So that would not count as this year because it's not technically slated for this year as of yet. Okay. But I get what you're saying.
But then like Gotham Knights with you, we could get closer to it. I could be like, what is this? What are you showing me?
Yeah. And that happens. Yeah. It's just that, well, some people do hold those things very like strongly, and they're like, you wanted that game, but look, it was shit, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I didn't know it was gonna be shit. It's just I was looking forward to it initially.
It's the equivalent of like a movie. So you see a trailer to a movie, you're like, oh, that movie looks good, and then you see it, you're like, okay,
it wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
It didn't live up to what I expected. Or absolutely. So I suppose as well, there's a good chance with the three of us that at least some of these games, some of them might be the same. They probably won't all be the exact same 5 games, but some of them might be the same. So what I might do is, like, if we go around, if someone has one in their 5, we're not numbering these, by the way. It's not like this is, you don't have to say this is number 1, this is number 2.
Okay.
But say if someone says one, we can then go around and go, yeah, that's also mine. We could talk about it for a few minutes and then move on to the next one. So, Adam, do you want to give us one of your top 5 most anticipated games of 2023?
Hogwarts Legacy, I think, just looks fantastic. As a non-Harry Potter fan, that looks like a great game. And I've seen a little bit of the latest kind of gameplay showcase. I've seen a little bit of it. I was just like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
It kind of, like, the environment and everything kind of looked a little bit like, in terms of the quality, the moving around the grounds on your broom, looked like Red Dead 2 nearly, in terms of the graphics.
Next, you're gonna have like people doing like a magic lasso and hog tying students to the train tracks for the train.
Probably.
Who knows? Maybe.
But it's just the lighting, the kind of the trees, the grass, all of it. That's what it kind of reminded me of, is the level of quality in it. And I was like, fuck, man, that's pretty. I hope it's as good as it's looking. You know.
Yeah.
But that's a huge thing. I'm definitely going to dive into that one though.
Yeah, it's in my 5 as well. Eric, would it be in yours?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I will give it a go. Although, I might just pre-order it. Sure, why not? For the crack, like.
No, but is it in your 5 most anticipated? Like, there's plenty of games that go beyond the 5.
I don't know. I wouldn't say. No, I wouldn't say so. No.
No. Okay. No. So yeah, it was in mine as well. I think it looks fucking ridiculous. And again, like, I watch the Harry Potter movies every year. I would say now I'm a casual Harry Potter fan. I know enough about Harry Potter and the lore and everything, but like, this isn't by any means like my dream game or anything like that. So with that, it looks ridiculous. Like, it looks genuinely ridiculous. I would say if they pull off what it's looking like, I think this is going to be. And there's been like Wizard World games before. Like, there's been Harry Potter games or games in the movies. I think this is going to be the Skyrim take a shot of Harry Potter games. I think it's going to be like all about the experience. There will be a story. The story will be okay, but I don't think that's going to be the best thing about the game. I actually think it's going to be the
running around.
your experience of it. Oh, did you do this quest? Oh, did you find this thing? Oh no, I
Yeah.
prefer to do these spells. Like your custom experience, I think is going to be on the talking points, the DLC that's going to come after. I think this is a game that gets supported for a few years but doesn't get a sequel, because what the fuck do you do after you've done all of Hogwarts? You maybe if this does really well, maybe you go, hey, do you want to tackle Middle Earth next? Fucking maybe. But this looks ridiculous. Again, it could turn out that it flops or it's terrible or whatever, but from everything they've shown so far, I think it looks fucking amazing. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Yeah. So since that's one of both of us, Eric, give us one from your top 5.
I'm just gonna straight up say it. Resident Evil 4.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's surely in ours as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Fuck
Right,
yeah.
just drop that right there. Just start it off.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That game got probably all 3 of us into survival horror.
100%.
What a
Yeah.
defining game for all of us. And it's getting remade.
Yeah,
This is a game that's not on enough consoles.
This is fucking exciting. I can't wait to play this game. And you know what? And to not play the game. That's the other thing. I'm excited to also be too scared to play the game.
It does
and to
look,
be like, I need
it
to
does
take a
look
break.
scary.
It looks fucking scary as shit. But there was an interview. Do you remember, we were talking about this before? Like, oh, they'll probably leave out some stuff. They'll probably leave out the island. Do you remember
No,
that?
they're not.
Yeah.
They're
It's all
including
in
the
it.
island.
Yeah.
It's all in it. They literally said they split the team up into 3 in the beginning. One of them to work on the village, one of them to work on the castle, and one of them to work on the island.
Holy fuck.
Class. Awesome.
So it's all there. They're doing it all. I can't believe it.
So what you're saying is it might be longer than Resident Evil 3.
Ooh, boy.
I think without doubt it'll be longer than.
I don't know now. That's
Resident
tough.
Evil
Like,
3.
Resident Evil 3, that was a game I could clear 5 times in one day. So, oof, boy.
I think it'll be like relatively as long as the original.
I would say there's a little bit more. I'd say they're going to streamline it so that you're not doing as much running around. So like
I
the castle,
agree.
for example, is quite
Yeah.
quite large. I'd say like the village side of things, you can get past that bit very quickly. It's
Yeah.
the castle. I think the castle's quite a drawn out section, and I'd say they're going to really streamline that.
See, I agree. I think they are going to streamline it, but I think they'll have slowed down the pacing in terms of the horror and the atmosphere. Like, you're not going to be running around and kicking shit. You're going to be like taking your time a bit more because you're actually dreading what's around the corner. It'll even out and it'll be around the same length anyway. But there will be like some parts will be taken out because it's like, that doesn't really work for the vision that we're going for right now,
Yeah, the castle was a bit kind of almost comical, to be honest. I mean, the
It's fucking
inhabitants,
hilarious.
the inhabitants are terrifying,
Yeah.
but it's the environment itself that's just like, this is this is ridiculous. Like, you showed
Mhm.
me the castle. The castle is big, but this is like fucking Alice in Wonderland big. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it does go
Yeah.
on a bit.
Yeah, but the enemies were pretty good. But yeah, that's a
And
that's
the
just-
running away from the giant walking statue. I think
Yeah,
there might be
that's-
moments that they might just decide
See,
to
that
scrap.
was one of the things
Yeah.
I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that, and you get on like an elevator, and there's like flamethrower things that chase after you. Some shit. There's some bit you're like
stuff like that. Yeah,
you're
of
down,
course.
and there's like lava everywhere, and it's like,
Right.
what?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
they might remove some of that stuff and probably increase things like your what's his name again? Is this Salazar? No.
The
little-
actual
Yeah,
lord of the
yeah.
castle.
Yeah.
Salazar. Yeah,
His kind of henchman bug looking thing
yeah.
probably
stalking you around the castle.
Yeah, probably set that on you
I think
earlier
so.
on, and that's the stalker for the game, is around the castle.
Around the cast. I think that's definitely going to happen, and that thing was
Yeah,
scary
and
enough,
that's
so-
where I will bounce. I'll
yeah,
go.
and
That,
go,
that was a great
best game
experience.
ever. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward now to, like, bearing in mind that they've now said that they are doing like the island as well, and with how many characters they've showed off, like they actually showed off most of the bosses in that last trailer. You see Salazar, you see what's his name, Mendez, is it?
mhm.
Cheese Mendes.
Big cheese.
You know,
the big
the
cheese.
big cheese. You've seen all those characters So I'm like, why haven't they shown Krauser? So I'm so
I don't think
interested in
he's
what
in
the
it, though.
remake. I think he is.
But didn't they say he wasn't?
I don't know, but like I'm like, why would you do everything and leave him out?
Yeah.
I think he's in it. I think he's in it, and I think he's going to play maybe a slightly different role.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see. Let us know if you're familiar with Resident Evil 4 and you're looking forward to the remake. Do you think Krauser will be in it, and what do you think they'll do with him? Will there be a new QuickTime knife event fight? Come on, there has to be, right? It's so good. Okay, so Eric, you'll have to give us another one so that we're on par with each other, because you know that Hogwarts Legacy and Resident Evil 4 are in mine and Adam's top 5. We only know Resident Evil 4 for you, so give us another one.
Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda's next game.
Yeah, so this one wouldn't be in mine.
Not in mine.
Okay, so this is good. Okay, so Eric, why are you highly anticipating Tears of the Kingdom? Which I think everyone else would be going, what the fuck is wrong with Chris and Adam? Yes, this is one of the most highly anticipated games of the year.
That's why. I'm a people pleaser. I know what the people want, so I give them what they want.
Like, the next thing I'm going to say is Starfield, and the next thing I'm going to say is the Elden Ring DLC. Yeah.
Well, that's my list done.
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoy. I really like Legend of Zelda, and yet I do, and yet barely know anything about it, but know everything about it in some weird way. And
Right. Yeah.
Like I played and cleared Breath of the Wild, which is like the only Legend of Zelda game I cleared, but it was really good. I really liked it. I've played a few of them. Like I've played a bit of.
You said that like it's a big surprise. But it was actually really, really good. Like
it's a pretty solid
like
game.
one of the most beloved games of all time.
Yeah, and it deserves it because it was really damn good. I actually might play that again. So that's why. That's like I want to get more into it because it is really good. The franchise in itself and the kind of the world building that they do for it is really great. So I do want to get into it more. So this is another good one to get into, and then at least it makes me play the Switch.
I mean, like, what are they doing? Why haven't we got a Wind Waker HD ported to that fucking Switch?
Come
You know what
on.
I mean? Like,
Come on.
at this stage,
I'm excited to find out if it's Tears or Tears.
You'll never know because no one will ever say
right? Yeah,
say that.
It'll be just written dialogue the whole way through. They'll never.
Well, they never say Breath of the Wild, although
This would be
that's easy to know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is a bit like Ethan's face. You know, they'll never. Well,
That's hilarious.
Actually, that's just because we were talking about Crisis Core earlier. I'd nearly recommend people to get that on the Switch because of the mission structure, which is designed for like quick commutes. It's like, oh, here I'll do a couple of little missions. I think Crisis Core would work really well on the Switch because you could take it and then play the bigger story chunks, you know, on the TV. So, but anyway, okay, Adam, give us another one of your five most anticipated games.
Well, can we say for definite if the next Final Fantasy VII part is actually going to come out this year?
The list I'm looking at, I was going to say that later when you said it.
It's slated, so you can say it.
It is slated.
I mean,
whether it will come out this year or not,
yeah,
I'll tell you.
I think it's not likely for it to come out this year.
Not likely, but yes, it's also in my top 5 for the year.
Yeah.
If it does come out, this is the most. This is like, if nothing else comes out this year and only this came out, I'd be happy. Like this is my most anticipated game ever.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Until the third one.
Until the third one. This is, but I've been thinking about it again. You know what I mean? And it's been driving me crazy again. But like, this is gonna be like the best.
Yeah, I think this is the most interesting one of the three.
Yeah,
because it's like, there's I have so many questions, right? But it's about this part of the game, and has nothing necessarily to do with the story as such. Right?
All right.
No.
It's just like, where does it end? That's
Yeah.
how much
Yeah.
of it do we get in this part?
Yeah.
You know.
Because with part one, it was so easy. It was like, well, obviously, it starts with the bombing run and ends with leaving Midgard, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
always do
Yeah.
that. This one is just like, do we start? I don't even know where we're starting.
You know where we're starting. You know where
Well,
we're starting.
I have an idea,
Yeah.
but it's still also they might throw in a curveball now that
They
they
might.
know.
Yeah,
now
they
that they
might.
know that everyone who's
They
played
start
it,
at the end.
they might. They don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's true.
Might
You
do
don't know
the
what
end,
they're
and then it
gonna do.
might do fucking.
That's what's so
7 months
exciting about
earlier.
it, though. That we actually don't know what they're going to do with with
Yeah.
a game that everyone knows. It's ridiculous. I also think that, like they obviously said when the first one was coming out that this is all based in Midgar. So everyone had like a fair idea, even though no one knew what the ending of. Well, nobody could predict that what the ending was going to be. Everyone had a fair idea of where the story stops. Right? I don't think they're going to tell us this time. I don't think they're going to tell us where it ends.
No.
I think you'll only find out when you play it. So you don't know, because then you can't, you know what I mean? You can't theorize. So that you keep having this conversation of where do you think they're going to stop it? I don't think we'll know till it's out where it actually stops. And it could get to a point where you think it's the end and it keeps going and you're shocked and you're like, what? Like, how far is this going to go?
And then before you know it, you're at the Northern Crater. You've just cleared the game. There's no third one. They're like, what?
No, they won't do that. But I think that they'll. Do you know the way, like at the end of the first one, it said the unknown journey will continue. I think at the end of the second one, it will say something along the lines of the story will conclude in, and they will drop the title of the third one at the end of the second one. I think we'll know the title of the third
Revengeance.
one. That's what I think. But yeah, no, this is obviously. Yeah, this is gonna be the best.
Your excitement gives me
ever.
excitement. I love it.
You have no idea. Like I'm excited about shit like meeting Priscilla. Like I'm excited about that shit. I'm excited about hearing Bugenhagen talk. I'm excited to see Dio. How oiled up is Dio in the remake? Like that. I'm excited about this kind of shit. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see will we go to Fort Condor or not, but we will still play the Fort Condor minigame. Fuck yeah.
Which is a genius way of doing Fort Condor, by the way.
Yeah.
So good.
You remind me of right now of Kevin Hart doing a Dwayne Johnson impression. With your excitement.
That's good. But yeah, let us know if you're excited for that fucking game, lads. Eric, would that also be in your?
Yes, that would also be.
Yeah. Please come out this year. But also, only if it's finished. You know what I mean? Like, actually, see, it just, to me, it's crazy that they would release that and another huge mainline Final Fantasy game within the same year. To me, that's nuts. Like, I'm like, Square Enix, that's not like you. What's going on here? What are you doing? If you do it, great. I'll be delighted. But what the fuck? That's not like you. So I'd be very surprised if they really do make it, like if they don't push that one out to say January or February of 24.
Yeah.
Well,
I just given the
fingers
track
crossed.
record of the industry, I'd say it's very likely that it just gets pushed out a bit.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, Eric, shout us out. And we all have 3 on the board at the moment. With only kind of one difference in there. But Eric, shout us out another one of your most anticipated games of the year.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Nice.
I didn't even realize that was coming out.
Oh, did you not?
No.
Well, this would be an honorable mention for me. It's not in my top 5, but I have every interest in playing this game. I'll definitely be getting it. Yeah, looks sick as fuck. I think it's got to be better than the first one.
Yeah, that's why because I enjoyed the first one. But obviously, there's very clear things where it's like they could improve there. So now having this sequel, I'm like, okay, where are they going to improve? Because the lightsaber shit was pretty cool. The Force shit was some of the Force stuff he did was very interesting because it's very different to what we would have seen with a lot of other Star Wars games when it get to the Force. Now it looks like we get more shit, more lightsaber stuff, and more Force stuff. I'm thinking, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, the trailer was fucking awesome.
Give me more Star Wars because I don't have Disney Plus. I'm just never going to get it. I don't really get any more Star Wars anymore. So this game is my only thing, man. It's the only thing that's giving me my fuel.
That could be a good thing actually for you though, to be fair, because then you know,
I'm not being
you don't
bogged.
have
I'm not
like
being
Star
over.
Wars fatigue, for example,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
No.
even if someone loves the content of Star Wars is coming out, there is a lot of it.
Yeah.
So this game for some people could be just another Star Wars thing, but like the fact that you know outside the movies you haven't had any more Star Wars, so
For Adam, that's what it is. It's no more Star Wars. Yeah. So for me, I pretty much cut myself off from Star Wars. So therefore, this is just that one little thing that kind of comes out and just kind of keeps me going. It's nice.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
That does look it looks great. It looks really really good.
Like Hogwarts Legacy would be my honorable mention because I'll probably will get that.
Yeah. I hope that they tone down some of the Soulsborne-y stuff of it. Like
I'll play it on the easy difficulty if they're keeping that shit.
But even beyond that, like I didn't like whenever you went to a campfire and then suddenly all the stormtroopers respawned.
Yeah.
You know, like it just didn't make sense to me.
It
Whereas
didn't work.
the exploration and the story, I actually really liked. So
I
More
think
of
it
that.
makes more sense if you leave the planet and come back, and then all the enemies have returned.
absolutely, yeah.
But the sort of whole meditation and all the enemies respawn. Then like meditation to upgrade yourself and your skills makes sense. That was pretty cool.
yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
But yeah, the story and
Uh,
explanation.
And he looks cool.
Hmm.
He looks a bit more battle worn.
Yeah.
I like that.
Give everyone a beard.
Yeah.
Next Tomb Raider, give her a beard. Fucking
Give her,
brilliant.
just give her a beard.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam, you want to give us your number 4? It's
Not
like
quite a
num-
game.
We're not numbering them, but not quite a game.
Not quite a game.
What the fuck? How are you doing this? Okay,
Doki,
don't break the
I'm
rules.
I'm
Painting
interested to
club?
see. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I'll wait to see how it pans out. But I am interested in seeing the launch of the PSVR 2.
Oh yeah, why not throw
shut
it
up.
in there?
Yeah.
Why not?
So
yeah.
I'm more. My anticipation is on. Well, how well is it going to do? Are we going to, like, is it going to be more successful than what? Because the first one when it came out was very successful, but then quickly died
Quickly
off.
dropped.
Right, there was no new games developed for it, and I think that's more to do with not the adoption rate of the system. It had more to do with the legacy controllers. The games weren't as high fidelity as what you would get on the PC side of things. And there's some great PC VR games.
Mhm.
That was so I'm interested to see, like, do any of that stuff come over to the PSVR 2? Will we see more games being developed for it? Because especially in the horror sphere, that thing is just so good.
Yeah.
Would you get Call of the Mountain, the Horizon game?
No, that doesn't interest me. That feels like a Disney ride. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm just not interested.
Because there's so many
in
people
that.
that's like they're going to be their go-to VR2 kind of first game. I think.
I think
That's
what would
interesting
draw
that
me
you're like,
to it,
nah.
apart from the price coming down, would be if they announce stuff like Half-Life Alyx,
Oh yeah.
Resi 4.
I knew you were going to
In
say that.
VR,
That's like, are you going to say it or am I going to say it?
And
It's like
Skyrim
Resident
VR.
Evil.
Let's bring it again. Bring it again. A higher fidelity version of that. Yeah.
Would you buy the PSVR 2 to just play Skyrim on another thing?
Why not?
How is
I'm
that
gonna keep. I'm
hilarious?
keeping them in fucking business, man. You
how-
you're all making fun of me, right? But I'm funding
They
Elder
owe you.
Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
not
You
going
see-
to be released.
Of course it is, but yeah, that's why we play this game where like we have to know that it's like slated for the year because like otherwise you'd go like, what's your most anticipated game? The Metal Gear Solid remake, Elder Scrolls 6. You know, you can't do that. No, that's cool. PSVR 2, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
is there-
interested to see how that performs. Yeah.
Are there any games that are slated for it that you have, that you'd be keeping an eye on as well? Like,
No.
say if you were to pick it up, like, is there a game where you're like, that's the first game I'd try on it? Or like, what about Village VR?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be fun. But it's just there's nothing that's like, even if the price is right with that, I'm not jumping on it. I just think there needs to be more work, and I have a feeling that Horizon game isn't actually going to be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might not be. I'm more interested, to be honest. Anyway, I'm more interested in the Horizon DLC that's going to be coming out.
Ooh, yeah.
In
That's this year as
April.
well, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Ah,
that's like another honorable mention for me. That's something I'm interested in, but it wouldn't
there's
take one of my top five.
and the Cyberpunk is coming out this year.
There's so many this year, but one that does take my top five, which I kind of mentioned, but anyway, Final Fantasy 16.
Mm.
I think it looks fucking amazing. I actually think it looks unreal, and I mean the visuals were always going to look good. I think like modern Final Fantasy games do look good, and I think they, their kind of animations and their cinematics always look fantastic anyway, and really flashy, especially like the summons and things. But reading the developer interviews about what the story is actually about has me hooked. I was like, that sounds unreal. I'm really interested in where they go with this. And also that it's like darker. It's actually like really dark. It's going to be rated mature, I think, based on what they're saying so far. Like there's blood. And like the last time there was like blood in Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 7.
Wasn't
right? Like they
Wow.
don't typically have like blood, you know what I mean? I also really like that it looks like it's very lore and character driven, right? And I think all the best Final Fantasies juggle both those things really well. The ones that don't, so for example, Final Fantasy 15 is very character focused, but it's not very lore focused. Everyone who's played it could say that. Like it's totally lacking in lore. Like, they had to add some of that later, and even at that, there's still not, like, a lot of it is just you're reading blue boxes to find out what was this actually about, and then like some of the other ones, they could be very, very lore heavy, but they're missing out on like really great characters. Like I would think 13 is overly lore heavy, or actually 12. I found 12 to be, there's lots of lore, there's lots of politics and the different nations and all this stuff, but the characters are bland as fuck. They're in no way interesting. So the best ones like 10 and 7 and everything have both those things. And I think 16 is a contender to be. But I'm not shitting on those other games. I actually really enjoy like 15 and stuff, but I'm just saying that like the ones that really stand out. You sound like an asshole. The ones that really stand out do both. And I think this is a contender to do both. So
yeah, the more interested. This is again kind of like your hype excitement.
Oh right,
when you talk about it, I'm like, I'm actually getting pretty excited for this game too, because especially when you were reading the developers, the way they were talking about it, like the idea that each of the summons. So at 15, the summons were gods. So when you summoned them, it was a big, huge event.
Yep.
The issue with them, though, was you got the same summon everywhere you went, but okay, this is nice. Show me one of the other ones, though.
And you had no control over when you did it.
No, you had no control.
Dictated, yeah.
Which was quite annoying. But when it happened, it was a big, cool cinematic. And now with this, they're like atomic bombs. Like someone has taken on the power of Oppenheimer, essentially, and just unleashes all this energy. This sounds awesome. And then seeing that most recent trailer, someone's like sick. They're terrified. They're massive. Yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah, and I think the combat looks like it could be great. Different to 7. And I also like that it's the medieval setting, because I think that if you're having these two games kind of releasing side by side, then it, like, if this was another kind of sci-fi or cyberpunky kind of Final Fantasy, it would just be like, yeah, but like 7 Remake is doing all of that in spades, so I don't really need another one of those. Whereas this will be different enough that they feel like totally different experiences,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that one. So Eric, give us your last most anticipated game for 2023. And again, obviously there's lots more games to be excited about this year. This year is fucking crazy. But
it was in my head.
Yeah.
And it's gone. So give
me
1 second.
So it's not that one then. I thought it was going to be that one.
Which one?
When it comes to you. I thought the Callisto Protocol had maybe whetted your appetite.
For Dead Space?
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, for me
sure.
too.
Yeah.
My 5. Like, I'm interested in it, but I
played the Callisto Protocol.
Sure, okay.
Which is just Dead Space.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to play and clear that game, there was a part of me as the game went on, I was like, okay, just please let me towards the end go through this door. It will open, and a fucking marker will be there. I will lose my shit. This would be the greatest game ever if that was if they had that buried under. That would be great. But
I mean, it could easily be.
It could easily have done that. Yeah,
it could easily be the Dead Space universe. So, yeah, it is another Dead Space game, really.
It is. So therefore, that's sort of.
I get you.
That's sort of done that. Jesus, where is it gone? I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. Take your time. There's a lot of games coming out if you check the list.
So many
There's so many is.
There's so much I can't speak anymore. So
I'll come back to you.
Come back to you. Sorry about that.
You got your 5th most anticipated game of the year.
Replaced.
Nice. I was wondering, was it going to be
if it actually comes out? Yeah, replaced.
I think it will this year.
I'm so kind of surprised that it doesn't actually have a date, because that was announced quite a while ago. And I just looks, if the gameplay is anything like they showcased with the trailer, yeah,
it looks sick.
It looks really
what what's really exciting as well is it's coming to Game Pass day one.
Yeah,
that's. Yep. I do love
Game
when
Pass.
you hear there's a great game that's coming, like like a Plague Tale Requiem, which I thought was one of the best games of last year. Like that was day one Game Pass, and
yeah, the Game Pass thing, like that's what keeps me hooked to it. Keeps me paying is the every time there's an announcement, it's like I'm guaranteed to get this game. My problem is with the likes of Replaced is that when they announce them, they seem to be ages away, or there's no clear indication of when they're going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, had a Series X now for a while, and it does seem to be lacking games.
Absolutely, and especially in the exclusives department.
Yeah. So I really wish if they would kind of, and not release them all in one go either. They need to pace their games out.
Yeah. I also think it would actually do them favors. This isn't like exclusive or anything, but I think, as we've been talking about, Callisto Protocol, I think would do well on Game Pass.
Yeah,
I think there's a lack of those kind of games, those single player story.
They probably should have gotten bed
experiences. Yeah, I actually think so. I think, especially with like the Dead Space catalog on Game Pass anyway, but this is a more modern game. I think it would do really well on Game Pass.
Yeah,
and I even like with the green barcode and everything. There's something Xbox. I'm playing the game on PS5, but there's something Xboxy about the game.
Yeah,
and I really think there should have been a partnership there. Obviously, that would piss Eric off I'm not saying make an exclusive, but if there was some kind of, I don't know, extra perks to playing on Xbox. Oh yeah, can you imagine? Ooh, that would be salty. Okay,
let's get this way.
Eric, have you got your number 5 spot?
I found it. Yes.
What is that?
I was like, of course it's this. I just did not really remember, was it coming out this year? So it is slated for this year.
Yes.
Obviously, it might get.
Is it the same game as mine?
I very highly doubt it.
Oh, okay.
What was your game?
No, go on. You say
no. You go on now. Okay. You get all excited there.
No.
You should say yours, and then I'll say what it's.
I'm just surprised. Well, actually, to be fair, I'm not surprised that it's not in your top 5. I am a little bit surprised it's not in Adam's top 5. But it's fair enough. No. Go ahead. Go on. Just fucking say what it was, will you?
Warhammer.
Oh,
40,000 Space Marine 2.
Okay,
that's one of those games. I was like,
Space Marine 2. Yep.
That's in your top 5. Wow.
Fuck yeah. Because I was super surprised. It was like Evil Dead 2. It's just like, this is getting a fucking sequel. Class.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love Warhammer 40k. I love its lore. So give me more of that tasty lore. And I also love God of War. So now you got Space Marine and God of War. And Gears of War. All the wars. Just slap them together. World War One. Never again. Put that together. And yeah, so it looks tasty. And the graphics look great. And you're fighting.
Is that coming out on
units.
Everything, or is that tied to certain consoles?
It is coming out on
I think it's everything.
PS5, PC, and the Series X.
Nice.
So it wouldn't be PS4 or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think we're starting to see the end of, of that whole cross-gen thing. We're starting to see next gen going forward only. And my number 5 is a PS5 exclusive, and it is Spider-Man 2. I
Nice.
can't fucking wait. And we've seen fuck
Honorable
all of it.
mention. Honorable
We've
mention.
seen fuck all of it, but like I don't really need to see much. Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales were fucking awesome. And Venom is gonna be in this game, and Kraven the Hunter, and like Insomniac's version of Peter Parker Spider-Man has been my favorite depiction of Spider-Man since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. So I'm fucking really excited to see what they put him through in this game, because like Spider-Man's at his best when he's suffering. And I think if anyone's going to make him suffer, it's Kraven and Venom. Kraven's very famous for being sort of like the bane of Spider-Man, the guy who kind of breaks Spider-Man mentally. Like there was a whole famous story called The Last Hunt where he buries Spider-Man alive and then just tortures New York while Spider-Man is buried alive trying to get out of the coffin. And then everyone knows Venom and the kind of shit Venom likes to do to torment Spider-Man. So I think this story's going to be fucking great, and I also think it's going to be fun switching between the two, playing as him and Miles, which is definitely going to be happening, which is also cool. Spider-Man 2, two Spider-Men, the duality of it. Across the Spider-Verse is coming out this year, so there's going to be a big spider hype as well. Yeah. Like so good. Well, we don't know if it looks good. We haven't seen anything.
No, we haven't seen anything to do with it, really.
But I'm going purely off just the hype of, that trailer and then what I've played before. Obviously, my anticipation could change. Like they could reveal something and I'm like, oh god, no, why? They've gone live service. What are they thinking? Or who knows? But I don't think they will. I think Insomniac are a pretty sound studio. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I have a feeling it's gonna have like a November release, because I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like, for PlayStation, I think it's gonna be like the God of War Ragnarok of this year.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I think it's gonna be their big PS5 exclusive.
Didn't the first one that was a summer release, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that'd be nice too, though. Just saying, just in case Final Fantasy 7 does come out at the end of the year.
I get what you're saying.
I just like to kind of space out my games a bit.
How about this? This? Especially with like Venom and stuff. What if they made it like a very Halloween
I'd say October
game,
Halloween,
and it came out in October?
Because you had summer for the first one, Christmas for Miles Morales, then it could be October for this one.
Yeah, and you could have characters like Mysterio, like Morbius, all the kind of Halloween-y style, like scary characters. That'd be cool.
It doesn't belong, but just put Man-Bat in there for Adam.
Thank you very much.
Well, they could do the whole Spider-Man turning into Man-Spider thing.
Man-Spider, bastard man.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't it be cool if that happened and then Miles had to fight him? That'd be sick.
Yeah. Where does the doppelganger come into it? Is that like after or before the Man-Spider incident?
I think it's like on the way, isn't it? I think
it's like halfway between.
Yeah, there's a point where he starts growing like extra human arms and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so I only know Man-Spider from
the cartoon, right?
From the 90s cartoon. And I think when he starts to grow, but he's still himself, that was on the way to Man-Spider within the cartoon. I don't know if that's how it is.
And then he eventually,
and then he became the giant monster.
And then he went to, he goes to Xavier, and it's the 90s version of X-Men and stuff, to find out how to slow down his mutation, because Xavier is an expert on it's so fucking cool the way they crossed that over.
That would be neat.
Actually, because Insomniac are doing Wolverine.
Yeah, because there's there could be a connection there, bringing the X-Men into the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
Do you think this year we will see anything of that Wolverine game, or do you think they'll wait till Spider-Man 2 is out before they show anything more on that?
What if the end of the Spider-Man 2 game is a reveal for a Wolverine game?
I'd love that.
Yeah.
It would be a bit MCU-ish in terms of like, now at the end of the game, they kind of highlight the next game. But that's more exciting than highlighting a next movie anyway.
Well, not if you do it in a much more... You don't have to wait till the end of the credits for the trailer sort of way. Like if the game actually genuinely ends.
Yeah, I mean the first Spider-Man...
The first Spider-Man had an end credit scene anyway for this.
That's true. That's what Miles Morales did, didn't it? It did.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. So they'll probably have something at least.
They will. Yeah. Really excited to see.
Might as well make it the Wolverine. Like, I mean...
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Anyone else got any I think that's our 5, right? So is there any other honorable mentions that we didn't mention that you just want to shout out before we finish up for our first episode of the year? Adam's nodding his head. Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Age of Empires comes to the Xbox. Can't fucking wait.
I do believe it's
And
actually
fucking-
Age of Empires 2.
2 and
And-
4, I think.
And
Oh.
Age of Mythology.
Oh, yeah,
Age
but that's
of
only coming.
Mythology
That's not
is
Xbox
coming.
though. It's PC. It's PC. We might have to
What
wait
is-
for a bit.
It's not coming to Xbox.
I don't think so. Maybe it is. I don't think it was though. I think it is Game Pass, but Game Pass for PC. So we might have to wait for a bit before that comes on. But that's what.
I'll have to buy a PC.
This is why Age of Empires 2 is
Yeah.
an anticipated game for me. Not because I necessarily want to play it. I want to see how well that performs. If that performs really well, we're going to get Age of Empires or Age of Mythology will then come to the Xbox. So the Age of Empires 2 on the Xbox to me is like a proof of concept.
Yes,
and then
yes,
eventually
yes.
we'll get and yes, I'll finally be able to play it again.
My favorite RTS, and that's saying something because
Yeah.
Battle for Middle Earth was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Age of Mythology, I fucking loved
Also, could
that
be
game.
the first time you could play the game where the ending doesn't break on you. Because I remember that wasn't it.
Yeah. The copy I had, I don't know why that kept messing up every time. It just never.
You
really
did clear it though, didn't you?
Yeah, I have
were-
cleared it, but it's just it would sometimes glitch out and there's the beginning of the game again.
And that takes all the fun out of it anyway, doesn't it? Because it just ruins the
Yeah.
timing and the stakes of it.
Yeah.
Eric, any other honorable mentions you want to shout out before we wrap up the episode?
Not really, actually.
That's
to be
cool.
honest.
Okay.
I think you guys mentioned most of the.
Shout out everything.
Shout out all the honorable mentions. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we've covered everything. I will check out Starfield
Oh,
when it comes
fuck
to
yeah.
Game Pass, so I'm just gonna shout that out for a
Fucking
moment.
Marvel's
Um,
Midnight Suns.
That's already out, Eric.
Mm.
Oh, this is just
you
for
could-
those consoles. Never mind.
Yeah,
never
you can
mind.
check the reviews for that and everything. That's out. People are playing
yeah.
that. I
Okay.
actually, I'm surprised you never mentioned it because I actually thought it's something you'd like.
That's kind of an XCOM style Marvel
Same
game.
studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe check it out. I'm gonna keep an eye on. This is not one I'm really anticipating because I actually just I don't like the look of the gameplay at all.
Hmm.
But I'm just gonna keep my eye on Suicide Squad
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because Kevin Conroy.
because of Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
That's all. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Maybe watch like a YouTube movie of it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll surprise us. Maybe Rocksteady will pull off something incredible and the gameplay's unreal. We don't know. But haven't really seen much of it, and it's releasing in May. That's a bit
Oh,
surprising.
yeah.
So I don't know whether they need
Yeah.
to do like they need to get in bed with someone, do like a state of play or a showcase or something to start selling that game. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not
kinda
hearing a lot
like
of buzz of
what-
people pre-ordering it either. Like I haven't even seen is there like a special edition or anything. You know, so I think they need to really
Yeah, they need to do kind
Rank
of
up the
what,
marketing.
not exactly as big as what they did with what do you call it? Hogwarts Legacy. Like, but their state of play was really good. So they needed
it was
something
really
like
good.
that.
That sold that game.
That's okay. Actually, honorable mention. I don't know if I'll get it, but honorable mention actually because it is slated to come out this year.
Yeah.
I think it's called Wukong Black Myth.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. There's a
Monkey
few
game.
games. Yeah. That's supposed to be
Plays
coming out
monkey.
this year.
Yeah.
Actually, fucking, it's a totally different game. But you just reminded. I've got one more honorable mention that I want to shout out before we wrap up. The Wolf Among Us 2
Oh, that's
yes.
yeah.
is
that's
coming
what
out this
Yeah,
year, and The Wolf Among Us is my favorite of the Telltale games. Totally
Yeah, it's pretty good.
underrated. I can't believe they actually finally made
I
they're
really
making
want
a sequel to that game.
Play that, but is that available on the modern consoles?
I don't know, and if it is, you should play it.
Yeah,
It's
because
fucking nuts.
You had
Like,
that on
again-
PS3, didn't you?
Yeah,
Well,
like again,
yeah, but it's Telltale though, Adam.
it's
you
a
know,
Telltale
you don't-
game. Like, there's not much to it, but it's just the style of it. You know, it's just the
No, but I heard
characters,
good
you know?
things about it. I'd like to
Mm.
play it. I'm just wondering where can I get it?
yeah. So it's either just. I feel like they ported it over though. Like
PS4
it might
maybe?
be on the PlayStation Store. And probably for dirt cheap at the moment with the sales. Actually,
Was there not a thing?
Uh,
Oh yeah.
it might be. I'm not sure though. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if not, we'll have to root out my PS3 copy, and you can just. Why not just play that? Yeah. you still have PS3?
Yeah, it is there.
Somewhere.
It's in the background there.
Cool.
Well,
Well, if it's not
I'll have to try
available
hook it
or
up
easy to
somehow.
find, because sometimes I know it's easier sometimes to just go, oh, here, look, it's fucking €3 on the store. Like, fuck off. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
setting that up. So it's easier to do that, but if not. But anyway, we would love to hear from all you guys who are listening to us. What are your most anticipated games of the year? Whether you want to list out your top 5, or even just if you have one, you're like, no, of all the games, this is the one that I am most anticipating that's coming out this year. Might be one we mentioned, or it could be one that's totally off our radar altogether. There's so many games coming out this year of various genres. It's going to be fucking really exciting. So do let us know if you've enjoyed this discussion and you're watching us on YouTube. Why not give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all future episodes, including when we talk about all these mini games and we get around to them. And also our God of War Ragnarok spoiler cast, which we're going to have to do soon. It's been out long enough and we've all finished it. We're going to have to talk about it. And if you guys have been listening to us on audio platforms, you can also touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on your most anticipated games of 2023. Thank you very much for checking out our first episode of the year, and we'll be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.